Hey guys, welcome back. So my plan for the day was to ride Kamani down this road because it's been done on 3 sides, except for obviously the way I'm going in right now. It's a public road. There's one house with one dog clear at the end. She's been down here. I thought I'll lead her all the way down, lead her all the way back. She'll be good. Now, unfortunately, my camera is upside down and couldn't zoom in without flipping the video, so I didn't get to show you guys how big she actually freaked out at the dog. Like, she dragged me back a few feet. And she was spooking at the snow, but again, it wouldn't zoom in without flipping the image, and it wouldn't let me flip it back, so sorry about that. Some people will call this a fail, but I call this learning. And I also call it a success because you'll see what happens, what I decide to end up doing. But I did actually try to get on her a few times because you notice she's not like majorly freaked out. She's a little worried, but she's not like freaked out. So I did actually try to get on her multiple times, but again, the stupid image thing isn't working. But when I go to get on her out here, she was like not having it. She's moving away. She is taking her head away from me, which she's never done. If the horse is taking her head away from you and while you're trying to get on, I wouldn't get on. So I just yielded her hindquarters and took her back to the pasture, and we worked on something different. So now some people are going to look at this and see failure. I see success compared to yesterday's video. So I'm going to get on her in here, and again, she's doing the same thing as out there. She's taking her head away, moving, and that's not like Kamani. You guys know Kamani. She is not like that. So I went back and did the baby steps. I did try a few times to get on, and so you can see right there, she took her head, so I spanked her on the butt and made her yield. So I was like, okay, you want to play these little games? We'll play these little games. I don't know what's wrong with her. I know part of it's weather because it's gotten really warm here. We're in the 50s and we've been down in the 20s and 30s the last few days, or last few weeks. So I know that has something to do with it. So I'm desensitizing her. And I go back to the basics. I go back to bringing her head in and putting my foot in the stirrups and just bouncing and jumping a little bit higher. And then I'll stop after a little bit and take a break and love on her. I go into getting like halfway on, halfway off. And we didn't do too much today for a number of reasons. One, her back felt hunched up like she was going to explode. I don't think she was going to. I think she just felt nervous from going out on the road. Maybe she was still thinking about that. I don't know. Two, I didn't want to have the same thing happen as yesterday where I kind of pushed her. I don't know. Yesterday, I honestly think it was just so many circles. She got bored looking back now. But you know what? Some people will call this failure. I call this success because we don't get to the point where she lays down today. We do have to go back and do some basic stuff, but with a colt, you're going to have to once in a while. So let's get into what we did and why. So I'm not going to bore you guys because we did this for about 10 minutes. But I got on her after like 5 minutes of, doing the baby steps, making sure she's okay, because last thing I want to do is ignore her signals that she's uncomfortable or nervous and then put myself or her in a wreck. So I got on and did tons of flexing till she was really soft. And then I would ask her just to move off a few steps or even a half a circle and then stop and flex and turn. So we just went back and did a lot of the basics like you would on a first ride. I mean, sometimes you have to. A lot of people, again, will call this a failure. Will say I'm too chicken to be a horse trainer. But you know what? I'm the one home alone. No one's out here with me. If something happens, I'm the one and she is the one getting hurt. So there you can see I turned her in a circle, went back to flexing her and stopped her. And this is all we did for about 10 minutes. Some people, again, you're allowed to have your own opinion, but don't come at me for what you don't agree with because you're not the one out there on the horse and you're not the one feeling her back and feeling how tight she is. You can see she's not wanting to move out. So that's why I'm not making her move very much. She's being really lazy, really slow. So I'm just going to allow her to be lazy and slow, and we're going to go back to the basics. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video anyways, and I hope you guys learned something from it, because I certainly did. Okay, bye guys. I also want to say this is where her flexing ended on, from the beginning to now. It actually was really soft, and more fluid. I was still having to bump quite a bit, but it wasn't as bad as when I first got on her and had to really kind of pull her around. So yeah,